Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna and this morning we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand, Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Now, Kristin, we had some tornado damage in December and then again in January.
Yes.
And some people are, thinking about replacing those trees, or some homeowners might just be thinking about putting in some trees around their home and landscape. But there's probably some things that they need to think about before selecting that tree.
Right. I kind of think about trees as almost like when you go into the store and you see all these paint chips to look at when you're trying to pick out paint. And I kind of use the same analogy there, for picking out trees, because it can be very overwhelming. And so trees do add a lot of benefit to our property. It actually increases the value of our landscape by 30%. And if you think about trees and some of the different functions that they offer, it really can help you improve the value of your home. So it's really good to think about some of those benefits with your trees, and then kind of relate it back to what you would like to have in your actual landscape. So with trees, they can actually reduce our utility bill. So a lot of times people select trees for a lot of shade, if they're wanting to reduce their home energy cost, and a lot of times in the summertime that cost goes way up. So it's nice to have some shade kind of placed strategically around your home in certain ways. And then also, if you think about trees, they can provide a lot of habitat for birds and butterflies. And then if you think about some of the different seasons that we have here in Kentucky, we can have some accent plants, where you've got some bloom or maybe an attractive fruit in the spring of the year or maybe in the summer, and then maybe even in the fall it may have some really pretty fall color. And trees do a lot of things for the environment too, not just with holding more habitat with wildlife, but they can also help filter out the air of different toxins and things like that. We're able to take in oxygen because of that. And so there's a lot of good reasons to having trees on your property. So one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more about determining what kind of tree to have for your landscape or your property is to kind of go out and look at your property and kind of see what angle that you might have sun in, where the afternoon shade's going to be. Maybe another thing to look at, not just on the sunlight, is to go ahead and look at your soil. I know a lot of times here in Kentucky our soils don't drain exactly as fast as we'd like them to, so kind of be mindful of where the water's going to be at, what might not drain as well, what may be faster draining, and that will also help you kind of determine what species of tree that you need.
And we probably need to look at space. And I might be getting ahead of you here, Kristin, but I think a lot of times people make the mistake, and I'm guilty of that too. I walk into a store or I walk into a nursery and I'm like, oh my gosh, that tree is gorgeous. I want it.
Right.
I buy it, but I don't have a spot for it. And
Right.
maybe it's too big for where I want to put it. So we need to look at the mature size, how big that tree is going to get.
Exactly.
So that it can thrive in the right space.
Right. So full maturity is very, very important. And like you said, when you first see it, it's going to be very small, but you just don't consider the mature size of that tree. So maybe thinking about, the size and where it would go in your landscape. Definitely kind of be mindful of the utility lines where they're located in your landscape. So think about, like where your water, maybe where your electric's at. Definitely overhead utilities too. We don't really recommend that you plant underneath that. So just know about that. Sometimes 811 before you dig is very helpful, so that way you are mindful of where those things are at, so that way that you don't end up cutting any kind of lines. But with some of the functions of your trees, shade's really important. Another one is the framing of your house. So a lot of times people have a 2-story home, and they can use more larger trees than somebody that might have kind of a lower size modern type home. So you might want to look to a small to medium sized tree if you don't have a 2-story home, because if you don't have the right size of a tree for your home, then it makes it look off scale and it doesn't look as eye appealing to a lot of people that pass your home. Take into consideration the size of your property. So if you are out in a rural community or you have a large property amount, you can kind of get away with larger trees. But if you only have a smaller size property, then you can maybe just do 1 or 2.
All right, Kristin, well, thanks for the information. And if you have questions about choosing the right tree for your lawn landscape, make sure to contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.